Chris and Cash Show.
Chris and Cash Podcast.
It is Friday, March 11, 2016. March Madness is upon us. Actually, have a lot to talk about NFL free agency.
A lot of stuff going on in the sports world. It's still a little bit of the dead zone, but it's getting better.
A little bit. Anytime you hear Gus Johnson's voice, you're coming out of the doldrums a little bit. You got baseball right around the corner. But I want to open up with basketball. And for those who don't know Chris, he has a hard-on for Harden.
James Harden's a very good player.
Dude, he's a dog. Right?
Okay.
I saw, they're in Boston tonight playing the Celtics. I think Isaiah has 8 layups on Harden, and Harden's just watching him. And he just, pulls up and just lets him score the layup. How big of a dog can you be?
Listen.
I'm listening.
You say this about, half the league, though.
Go watch...
And do you want to know why?
Go watch Shaqtin' a Fool and look at those two defensive... I can't even call them defensive plays. That was not defense.
No, he just watched. He literally just watched. He watched them go by. It's the Olay defense.
And that's okay.
No, but a lot of people do that in the regular season. I don't know what to tell you.
For as badly as
you hated that Rondo used to do that. You hated that a lot of players used to do that.
For as badly as I got on Rondo, and I got on him quite a bit, he was never that egregious. Ever.
Maybe a little bit less egregious, but he was still pretty bad. Well, even then I told you, yeah, that's what people do. And sometimes they play defense hard, sometimes they don't. Not everyone stays a defensive force or tries their entire career, especially when you're an offensive player.
I can even live with someone being a crappy defender and trying, as opposed to I could probably be a pretty good defender, but I just don't give a shit, which is what James Harden is. And you're right. There are a lot of guys like that in the league. But, oh my God.
I mean, I don't even want to get into this completely, but that just goes into there's too many games in a lot of sports. Okay? Too many games in basketball, too many in hockey, too many in baseball. It lends to there being times where people either just dog it or don't try for various reasons. And that's why when everyone says, oh, the Stanley Cup playoffs are so good, yeah, they're at such a higher level of hockey than the regular season, correct?
Yeah.
And part of that's because it's better teams, but part of that's because you can only control that level of play and have it that high for so long. Same thing happens in the NBA. NBA playoffs are actually really good basketball. People play defense in NBA playoffs. You know what they do in the regular season? They sleepwalk to the 8 seed if they want. Okay? Depending on what conference you're in and how good you are.
Well, if you're going to be the 8 seed, you're better off just getting in the lottery.
Depends how good you are, though.
How often does an 8 seed beat a 1? Not often.
Not very often. Really quick, shout out to Captain Obvious, who we just saw on Shaqtin' a Fool.
He's Shaqtin' a Fool.
I want it noted that, in case you guys didn't know, the most interesting man in the world, he's being replaced.
Inexcusable.
I agree. Apparently he's not that interesting anymore, although I still love him.
Well, who are they going to have?
His only regret is that he doesn't feel regret.
No, who are they going to get to replace him?
I don't know. It's supposed to be a younger guy. The guy is in his 70s.
The best thing is, though, that dude lives in Vermont.
Yeah, he's from New York originally. He went to Boston University.
No, but
Get his name, something Goldman.
I don't know.
Goldberg, something like that.
It prompts me to want to go to Vermont and just knock on his door and
visit him.
Yeah, just shake his hand.
Be how interesting are you in real life?
I'd be I actually think Dos Equis isn't that good. I drink Budweiser and Sam Adams, but
But I drink a Dos Equis for you.
But your commercials, A+.
A+ commercials. No, but really though, I mean, other than football, every other sport is tuning in. I've told you too, baseball, they can cut it down to 160, 150. It's not going to hurt anything.
Well, it was 154 games for 100 years.
That's why I said 160, 150.
Yeah, but what's 8 games, really? And I know they toyed with the notion of putting it back to 154 games. I actually wouldn't be against them going back to 154 if they made the schedule more balanced. For me, that includes completely getting rid of interleague play. I know you. I know you like interleague play. I absolutely hate it.
If the schedule was balanced other than interleague play, I'd be fine with that. On top of that, it just gives you more days off. They play too much. I'm sorry. They need more days off. You see a lot of crap games in baseball too.
Yeah, but
am I wrong?
But baseball's a non-contact sport for the most part, so it's the one sport you can play every day.
I understand that, but at what point are we going to get to 6-man rotations? Which is going to be horrendous, by the way, because I like to see a 4-man rotation.
They baby these pitchers.
I know, and they blow out everything just as much as they ever did, if not more.
Really, the last time I can remember a 4-man rotation and a dominant, solid 4-man rotation was that 05 White Sox team that won it all. They had Jose Contreras, Mark Burley, Freddie Garcia, and John Garland, I think, was the fourth. Go look at their playoff stats from 2005. They went 8+ every night. Ozzie Guillen didn't even have to use his bullpen. But yeah, I agree with you. I think the schedule's crap. You know what? And I hate interleague, but it was even worse. It's even worse now because you're playing interleague games in April. You're playing interleague games in September. At least when it was contained to just June, of like, okay, you're gonna hold your nose for 3 weeks, and interleague's over, and then you can go back to playing the teams in your league.
But I like getting to see that the style of play. Listen, I'm a huge sports fan. I'm not as big a baseball fan as you are.
Mm-hmm.
I'll watch the Red Sox a lot. I may watch some Sunday night baseball here and there. Some good matchups if I see them. If I catch the Royals versus another playoff team from last year, probably watch it if it's on, especially if there's nothing else to do. Great, grand, and wonderful. Am I going to sit there and watch every other game in the league? No, I'm not. I'm not going to buy any packages. I'm not going to sit at home every day and watch it like you do. That's fine. But for that reason, I like interleague play because I get to see National League play and AL play. I like National League play. We've talked about this, which is why I love if Boston had a National League team.
Oh,
so we agreed.
Before I die, I'd love to see it. I'm never going to see it.
It's never going to happen. They're never going to give us a team again.
Well, no. And you know what the funny thing is? We've talked about this before. It would actually make sense for John Henry to loan a National League team Fenway Park for half the season.
Would it, though?
Think about
Be
it.
a scheduling nightmare.
Think about it, though.
Scheduling nightmare.
I know, but hear me out.
I'm hearing you out.
Because Boston's small. They don't have a spot to replace Fenway, let alone build a National League stadium. So they would have to share Fenway. But hear me out here. You own Nesson, right? You do like a Nesson 2 or a Nesson. They already have a Nesson 2. You know, let's trying to think. Let's say the Florida Marlins.
What they do is in agreement for that team coming, they have that team play all their games on Nesson 2, and they get that.
Henry gets all the money.
All the money.
They have to pay Henry to broadcast all their games. And Henry makes a killing.
Or at least a 75-25 split, something like that.
Henry makes a killing, 81 home games a year. Double that.
But see, I don't think the other team would allow him to get all the concessions from.
No, he wouldn't get all of it.
After that, they'd put the team like just outside of Boston, or it'd be like somewhere in Dorchester. They'll find a way to spot it up there. You know what I mean?
I don't think Dorchester's as big as a baseball diamond, so I'm not sure.
Dorchester's huge, dude.
No, it's not.
Dorchester's bigger than Boston. If you took
Dorchester's a suburb.
It's a neighborhood in Boston. Dorchester is the largest neighborhood in Boston. If you took Dorchester away from Boston, Dorchester would be bigger than Boston. Boston proper itself is really small, dude, without including...
But if you include Brighton and Watertown...
Watertown's not its own... Watertown's its own city.
Well, you know what I mean. Like that.
So is Brookline, which makes no fucking sense because it's an island inside of Boston. Because they voted to leave. Anyways, this is way off topic. But the whole point is, all those little neighborhoods like Roxbury, West Roxbury, Jamaica Plain, Mattapan, Dorchester. Dorchester's way bigger than Boston proper.
Mm-hmm.
Way bigger than... I mean, I know Boston includes Dorchester, but if you just want to go with downtown Boston and like... It's enormous.
Yeah, and I'm in agreement with you. It's never going to happen. They're never going to get an NL team. But it wouldn't be the craziest idea in John Henry's, regard to let it happen.
Oh, you think he loses a bunch of fans if that happens, though?
No, I think the Red Sox have been here too long. The following's
you sure, though?
Yeah, the following's too strong.
So, there was a huge article written this week, by Dan Shaughnessy. And it was about you're either a Red Sox. For the winter sports, you're either a Bruins fan. He used the term avid, so we'll go with avid. You're either a Bruins fan or a Celtics fan. I think to some extent that's true. He said avid fan.
Napoleon Dynamite makes a good point.
You can only be Listen, you can only be...
Dude, seriously.
Vote for Pedro.
Dude, Napoleon Dynamite, that's Dan Shaughnessy.
You know what's funny? If Pedro ran right now, I'd probably vote for him.
For president?
I've seen a meme for it and everything, but yeah, wouldn't you?
You'd be
like, I'll deport all the Trumps.
Is Napoleon vice president?
Sure.
Okay, I'm in.
Okay.
Anyone's better than Hillary.
But the thing is, I forget where we were going with this. Oh, you're either a fan of one or the other.
Right.
And it's not that you can't watch both. Like, you're a Celtics fan, correct?
Huge.
You'd say an avid Celtics fan?
Avid.
Are you an avid Bruins fan?
No.
You're bigger than 95% of sports fans. If you're not an avid both, there's not very many avid both. And the reason for that is they're playing on the same nights a lot. Not always. I know sometimes they have off nights. It's not baseball where you're playing every day. Mm-hmm. But you can only really be too invested in basketball or hockey because if you're a winter sports guy, you growing up usually either playing one or the other. You know what I mean? And I know you could play like hockey all year round, or you could play basketball in the summer as well. There's summer leagues.
Yep.
Obviously, 'cause you can play outdoors. But You're usually one guy or the other.
I would say, and I think you're on the same page as me, like, I've been going to Celtic games since I was 5. So, you know what I mean? It goes back to the old garden. My father had season tickets. So, yeah, I mean, I'm a diehard Celtic fan. All right, I'm obsessing over the Brooklyn Nets losing, so I might have another 5% chance to get a good draft pick, and I don't even know if that kid's going to be any good. Okay, that's how obsessed I am with it. All right? Would I consider? Yeah, I'm a Bruins fan. I consider myself a Bruins fan.
But we're casual fans. Because
Yeah,
the Dale and Holly show,
that's true.
featuring Thornton, okay, they had this conversation, but they didn't put Avid, and they took a poll, each of them, Thornton and Dale, and a lot of people said they were fans of both.
Mm-hmm.
But still more said they were only fans of one or the other.
No,
and they dropped the word avid. If you use the word avid, I'd say people are either avid fans of one or the other. It's hard to be an avid fan of both.
No, I would agree with that. I mean, you're on the same page as me. You're an avid Celtic fan.
Avid I'm an avid Patriots fan.
Right.
Avid Celtics fan.
Right.
I'm a pretty good Red Sox fan. I care about the team. I go to the games. There's a lifeblood. You know, Massachusetts is the spirit of America.
Mm-hmm.
Red Sox is the spirit, okay, of Boston. There's something like in the Red Sox where it's just there for you. They're part of your heart and soul. But you know what? Like I've talked to you a million times, I really care less about baseball till like June or July. Fenway sucks. I don't like the seats. They're made for like 110-pound Jesuses, and by Jesus I don't mean some little Hispanic dude. I mean, vote for Pedro. I mean, Jesus Christ back in his day when people were like 4'11".
Well, he was a carpenter, so he probably made those seats.
Oh yeah, probably. That's how long Fenway's been around. But that's the whole point. There's obstructed views. I had to sit in one of those recently. I mean, no. I hate the way that people root and sing "Sweet Caroline" and just act like they're having a great time when we're down by 17 runs. It's
so
absurd.
Good, so good.
It really
so
is.
So good. No, but I would. Let me put it to you this way: am I a Bruins fan? Sure. Was I elated when they won the cup? Absolutely. That was awesome. That's one of the best things I've ever watched. And I told you that day. I woke up that day knowing that they were going to win that game.
Okay.
I just felt it. I go, we're going for the not the hat trick, but we're going for the, all 4 teams.
All 4.
Yeah, in the
all of them except the Revolution. And they came so close, 8 times.
They don't count. Soccer's
it's only 6. But
soccer's not a sport; it's an activity. But
soccer is a sport. Come on.
No, it's not. Yeah, maybe in Europe, not here. That'll never catch on in the U.S. That's another topic for another day. You remember when the Bees lost to Chicago, right? That gut-wrenching 6 game.
I was so fucking pissed.
I was pissed.
6.
I was pissed.
I thought we won the game too. I was like, yes.
Well, they were up with like a minute.
And it's like, oh, they scored. Oh, that's okay. We'll go to OT. We lost. More is like, what are you doing? I'm like, taking the dogs for a walk.
I think I'd threw my remote on the floor and shut my TV off.
By the way, does anyone want a blind, biting, aggressive dog? As my wife
You're
might want to get rid of it.
Not selling your dog on our
I'm not selling it. I'm giving it away. The dog's blind. She is blind. She's only 4, but she's blind. Congenital defect, and not my fault. She's aggressive. She has huge teeth. She bites like a wolf. Do you want her? If you want her, come and get her. Find out where I am. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah, my beagle's kind of a wuss. I think he'd be a scared shitless of the dog.
I know my dog would probably kill your dog. Actually, she wouldn't. She's like fair aggressive. So she only gets mad at you because she's afraid, bites you, clings on, and then runs away into her cage.
Yeah, but Willie will just run away from her and start crying.
Well, then
he'll jump up.
Then my dog would never find Willie because she's fucking blind, dude.
Dude, he would just jump up into my mother's lap and just cry until she made the dog go away. But yeah, I was pissed after that 6 game. I was pissed for a good week, 10 days, and then I was over it.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't nearly as pissed as 19-0.
Well,
I'm still pissed about 19-0. Technically,
this is what I'm saying. I was pissed for about a week or 10 days, and then I was over it and move on with my life. I think about 19-0. I don't want to. At least 4 or 5 times a week. I think of the Celtics losing that 7th game in LA.
You still haven't watched that game again, huh?
Which one?
The 08 Super Bowl.
I haven't watched the 07. I haven't watched.
Well, 08. I consider the year. Well,
I haven't watched.
Year it's played in.
I haven't watched Super Bowl 42 since that night, and I have not watched Game 7 in 2010 in LA since that night. I refuse. I just can't do it.
I haven't watched the Game 7 against LA. I haven't rewatched. I haven't rewatched. I rewatched the part of the 2012 Super Bowl 11, whatever you want to call it. I watched the perfect season one 3 or 4 times.
Why would you do that to yourself?
It's just on, and I mean, at this point, we've already won again. I've seen other things.
It takes the sting away, but not really.
It's still surreal. I mean, he almost completes that pass to Moss down the sidelines at the end of the game.
That was the football gods' reparations for the Tyree catch, and the Manningham catch was Butler's interception, which was just as improbable as those two catches.
Reparations, dude. I still want my mule. What the hell is that? That's not enough. But I don't know, man. I got a few other things to talk about with the. I don't know where you want to go from here.
I do want to talk about basketball a little bit more. I want to get into Carmelo Anthony.
Okay, that's fine. Real quick, let's just go talk about the Celtics. Okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to ask this to you, because we do this show once a week.
Yep.
We've been pretty consistent with our answers.
Yep.
Are we underestimating both the Celtics and the Bruins?
Bruins maybe, Celtics no.
Yeah.
The Bruins are starting to surprise me. They had a pretty good road trip.
I mean, we can go into them real quick. They beat the Blackhawks.
That's a quality win.
Lost to the Caps in OT.
No shame in that.
And they're the best team in the East.
You got a point out of that.
Beat the Panthers.
You beat the Panthers and
the
Tampa
Lightning.
Bay back-to-back in OT.
Yeah, first in the division right now. I mean, you just lost the Hurricanes, but so what?
Well, you got a point out of it. You lost in overtime.
But they shouldn't have lost that game, I don't think.
Well, by the way, that Pasternak goal was ridiculous.
But so they're first in the division. They're other than the fact that the Caps have like 150 points already, not really, but they're way ahead of everyone.
And they'll lose in the second round like they always do.
You blame Ovechkin for that?
No, not really. I mean,
No?
he always seems to produce in the playoffs.
Well, at some point, doesn't he have to actually win? I mean,
he has decent numbers in the playoffs.
Okay.
Not great, but not like.
If that was Peyton
abysmal.
Manning and he just kept losing, wouldn't you be like, oh, he chokes in the playoffs?
Yeah.
Even if his numbers are great. Granted, I want it noted, in most of Peyton Manning's losses, in his one and dones, he was the favorite in 8 out of those 9 games. It was a prohibitive favorite, I think, and by prohibitive I mean more than 10 points, I believe. Or 7 to 10 points is what we're using as prohibitive. At least 7 out of those 9 games. 6 out of those 9 games. And in most of those games, he was abysmal. I just want to throw it out there. People always make excuses for Peyton going one and done.
Hockey's way different than football.
I understand it is. Well, a quarterback is way different than anyone in hockey, other than maybe a goalie.
All it takes is a hot goalie, and you can win the whole thing.
Right. Other than a goalie being
let me
similar to a quarterback.
Let me ask you this: the 2 years that the Kings won the cup, because they won 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
I think I know they were the 8 seed one year, and I think they were the 7 seed the other year.
Fucking so hot.
And then they just got hot. That's all it takes in hockey. That's why very rarely does the most talented hockey team win the whole thing.
Yeah, the Bruins won it. They were the 4 seed.
In 11? No, they weren't.
Yeah.
No, they. I want to say they were
4 seed.
No, I want to say they were 3rd in 2011.
I think it was the 4 seed.
They were either 2nd or 3rd. There's no way they were the 4.
I'm pretty sure they were the 4 seed. I'm almost positive.
Actually, you know what? Philly had home ice, so I think they were the 3rd. I'm gonna say 3rd. But it's way different in hockey. But we'll come back to that point. I do want to. Oh, since we're on the Celtics,
Yeah, we can talk about both.
I'm gonna preface this by saying I don't hate Marcus Smart at all.
Not that good though. I told you that.
But I'm
I
getting.
still hate Jared Sullivan. I don't
But
care.
I'm getting a little annoyed with everyone anointing Marcus Smart like he's Michael Jordan. Do you know who Marcus Smart is?
A worse Ron Mercer.
He's Tony Allen. That's what Marcus Smart is, fellas. Tony Allen. Can't shoot, can't really score. Great defender. Actually, Tony Allen TA is probably a little bit better.
You're right. They were the 3 seed.
They were the 3.
I thought they were the 4. You know what it was? They won their division. And
Philly. I know Philly was the 1.
The Penguins had more.
Philly was the 2. Who was the 1?
Caps were the 1.
Caps
Philly
were
was
the
the 2. The Penguins were the 4, but they had more points than the Bruins. They didn't win the division though. So.
Yeah, it was Virtua winning the division, right?
So it is what it is.
But yeah, these people got to put down the crack pipe and just realize that Marcus Smart is Tony Allen, maybe a little bit worse than Tony Allen, unless he severely improves his game, which I don't. I mean, he has no mid-range game. All he does is fire threes. He's like a 6'3" Antoine Walker. Only Antoine would make most of them.
Well, he plays defense. Antoine didn't play defense.
Nah, Antoine played defense under Jim O'Brien.
Everyone played defense under Jim O'Brien.
I think, honest to God,
James Harden played defense under Jim O'Brien.
I don't know about that.
Jim O'Brien was gangster, dude.
Dude, I love Jim O'Brien. No, but seriously, after Patino resigned, I think Jim O'Brien said to Antoine, like, look, if you play defense, you can shoot as many threes as you want. I think Antoine was on
It would have
board.
been better if Jim O'Brien whacked Patino. You're a disgrace to the family.
We're not talking about Patino, please. Oh, what a nightmare. What a nightmare. But all right.
How far do you think the Bruins could go?
I think they could win a round now.
A one round.
That's it.
So
I don't see
you were
them-
underestimating them before. Now you think they're going to win one round.
I think they could.
I already thought they could have won a round before. I mean, now I think they can make the Eastern Conference Finals. Maybe I don't think they would. Maybe even make
Nah, they're not going to make these finals. And again, it's all about
the way they're playing now.
Yeah, but it's all about matchups. It's all about who you
I
play.
understand that, but you only have to beat two other mediocre teams. Because look at the East right now.
Yeah, it's not that good. You really
You're just making the Eastern Conference Finals. I think both the Celtics and Bruins are capable of doing that. I'm not saying that's a massive accomplishment in either way. But I don't think it's a stretch to say it.
It'd be a nice little story for each. Wouldn't be a major accomplishment, but it'd be
Well, yeah, but I think I'm to the point now where I'm actually just starting to believe in them a little bit. Not that they're going to win the whole thing, but just appreciating them. I'm going back to old school Boston sports fan. Where I'll just appreciate a nice little playoff run. Okay?
Let me ask you this.
Sure.
How they're playing recently, let's assume they finish strong, and let's assume they win the first round playoff series, right? Does that save Chloe's job? Is his job safe if they make the playoffs and win a round?
I don't understand how his job's not safe right now.
Well, I agree with you. I'm saying from their perspective.
And that's already something I wanted to hit on anyways.
Go ahead, yeah.
He's the best coach in Bruins history.
He might be.
I don't care. Of course, I can't go all the way back.
To Art Ross, yeah.
Right. I can't judge that. Actually, I can't judge a lot of it because it's still other times are before my time.
Well, let's put it that he's easily the best of our lifetime watching this team.
Yes, and I would say he's probably better than everyone else.
You can make that argument.
I mean, he just passed everyone with wins.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's got a cup.
Yep.
He has another finals.
Could have had another one, right?
He's got a President's Trophy.
Yeah, President's Trophy is overrated.
I understand that.
When's the last time that's a good one. When's the last time a team that won the President's Trophy won the cup? I think the 01 Avs did it.
Chicago win it or?
I don't know. Ray Borks last year. They
Chicago win?
Yeah, they may have.
I don't remember.
Honestly,
I could care less about the Presidents.
I don't follow hockey as closely as I do the other sports, but which is funny because I actually love the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Dude, but any given year, for the most part, even though I'm good with a lot of like remembering what teams are what in the standings, and I mean, who was the best in the standings in 2011 in the NFL?
In the NFL?
Yeah.
I think the Pats were the 1 seed in the AFC. In the NFC, Green Bay went 15-1 that year. That was a year after they won it. They got upset by the Giants in Lambeau.
Good point.
Yeah.
But wasn't Tennessee the 1 seed that year?
In 11?
Or was that 2009?
No.
That's 2009.
2009.
Yeah.
Tennessee didn't make the playoffs in 09.
Tennessee was 13-3 one season.
Yeah, it wasn't 2009. Tennessee in 2009, Brady beat 59-0 through 6 touchdown passes in the first half.
Maybe it was 2008.
I don't think it was 2008 either. I think you're confusing them with Baltimore. One year Baltimore was like 12-4.
No, Tennessee
game. When McNair was there, sure, not like in the last decade.
No, when they had Albert Hainsworth before he got his big contract.
I don't think so.
I'm telling you, man.
But
I'm telling you.
We can come back to that. I do want to get into basketball.
I don't remember what year it is. My years are merging together right now. But that's the whole point is, I'm a big sports fan. I watch all the sports. I still can't tell you in any given year who the best team was record-wise in the regular season. I don't recall. I mean, I don't. There's no way for me to remember.
If I tried really hard, I bet I could remember, or at least come close.
I couldn't. I can tell you the Patriots records.
Well, yeah, I mean, when in doubt, just say 12-4. They're 12-4 a lot.
Well, Brady's average season is slightly better than 12-4. I mean, but
they have a couple stinkers a year on average.
Yeah, usually one, maybe two.
Well, that Philly game this year. Oh,
that was a stinker.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. That's about as bad as they played in the Belichick era. As bad
as Belichick coached in the Belichick era.
Like that Philly game, like there've been a handful of bad, like getting waxed 31-0 in Buffalo in 03 was pretty bad.
Yeah, man. 2008, 13-3, Tennessee Titans.
Were they really?
Yeah, couldn't remember if it was 09 or 08.
Wow,
it was
what a weak league.
Yeah, I think they had the best record in the league. I recall.
Who'd they lose to?
I don't remember.
Look up the schedule. See who they lost to. It's probably Pittsburgh, right?
I don't know.
Pittsburgh or the Jets? No, it wasn't the Jets. It had to be Pittsburgh.
That makes it even more incredulous for me that Manning won the MVP, considering his team didn't even win his division.
Well, I think they lost to. They lost out in San Diego in the playoffs. I remember that. I actually want to really quickly get into something Carmelo Anthony said recently. Our man Melo, who has a no trade clause.
You think his wife really tastes like Honey Nut Cheerios?
Ooh, Lala?
She's pretty hot.
Well, I mean, I would hope so. He's freaking rich. He's not going to marry like some old bag lady.
Well, you don't know. That goes to our rape conversation last week.
Ugh. For the record, Tennessee lost their first playoff game to Baltimore.
I knew they lost right away.
At home, 13-10. So.
I thought you meant who they lose from the regular season.
No, I meant the playoff game. But I want to get to comments that Carmelo made recently. It was a few days ago, actually. So the Knicks are going to have at least $18 million in cap space this summer. Carmelo wants to sell free agents on what it's like to play in New York, according to him. He also, by the way, has a no-trade clause.
Lots of traffic.
Yeah,
that's what it's like to play in New York.
Yeah, but NYC is awesome.
It's all right.
So
to visit. Would you want to live there?
If I were a millionaire, sure. You could just move up to some like flat in Manhattan.
Well, if you were a millionaire, you'd own an apartment the size of your basement because things are massively more expensive there.
Yeah, but if I'm making like $20 million a year, like Melo is,
we didn't preface it that you're like basically like Bill Gates or.
Well, yeah.
The difference between millionaire and someone that has
you need that kind of scratch to live in Manhattan.
I know.
I'm not gonna live in like some like rundown apartment complex in the Bronx. Like that's not how this works. Like no, you got to live in Manhattan. You got to live like right down the street from MSG. But these are some quotes from Carmelo. Put me at the head of the table and let's go to work, Carmelo said. If we want this team to be better, if we want more pieces of this team, I don't know if that's a misprint, I don't have a choice but to go out there and do my job and try to get people to come. And for them to see from my perspective more than anybody else's perspective. See it from a player's perspective. Melo, no one wants to come to New York to play with you. And Phil Jackson, I know you try to fancy yourself as the smartest guy in the room. Triangle's not going to work with this team. For the triangle to work, you need a point guard and a big man. Or you could replace a big man with Michael Jordan. You need, some of those interchanging parts.
You know what Phil Jackson needs?
To retire. Games passed him by.
He just needs one of the 10 best players that ever lived.
No, in his case, you need two. You need two of the top 10 players in the league to be successful.
Well, I mean, Pippen's not a top 10 player of all time, but he had Michael Jordan, and then he had Shaq and Kobe. And then he had Kobe with a giant front line that was great.
No, you know what? The thing that makes Jackson a fraud, I mean, because
he's not a fraud.
He is. Yeah, he is. Because you know what? Any head coach in any sport, you need great players to be successful. Is Bill Belichick without Tom Brady? Probably not.
So all coaches are frauds.
Jackson's a little bit more fraudulent than others, and the reason that I say that is because he's in Chicago for 6 championships. Jordan retires. Pippen leaves. He leaves. Oh, Shaq and Kobe are all in LA. I'm going to go coach them. 2004. Oh, they traded Shaq? Kobe might leave? Yeah, I'm going to retire. Oh, Kobe and Pau Gasol? Oh, yeah, I'm back on board. Kobe's getting old and Pau gets traded? Yeah, I'm going to retire again.
Are you just butthurt because he has more rings than Red?
Yeah, he also coached like 50 more years than Red, too.
Oh, well, listen.
If Red never retired, he'd have like 45 rings. That's not the point. The point is that the guy picks his spots, and the triangle isn't his, guys. That's Tex Winter. It's not like he was like doing acid in the 70s and just magically came up with this triangle offense. No. So anyway.
He's probably doing acid in the 70s, though.
I think he's doing acid now.
He is the Zen Master.
You have to be doing acid to take this next job under Dolan. You shitting me?
He's probably smoking that, what's that stuff?
What, the shit like Hernandez was smoking? The
No,
PCP?
he's not smoking PCP. He's like his Angel Dust Holmes. No.
I gotta watch that. I haven't watched Friday in forever.
My teacher told me to turn in my essay, but I'm no snitch, man.
All right, so okay, so the triangle, you need a point guard and a big man for it to work. The Knicks have neither. I mean, I guess if you want to consider Robin Lopez a big man, then I guess sure. Who's their point guard?
He's big.
Who's their point guard? Who's the next point guard? I can't name a guard on their team right now. I would say J.R. Smith, but he's on the Cavs. He's not even on the Knicks anymore, and he's not a point guard. New York isn't as attractive a market as Melo and others think it is. Greg Monroe chose Milwaukee over New York. What does that tell you?
Greg Monroe's stupid.
Is Milwaukee any worse off than the Knicks are?
Not really.
They both stink. But LA and New York aren't the destinations that people think it is anymore. Because you got a lot of guys going to Miami.
Most of the times, you sit here and tell me how they're going to get all the free agents. The Lakers are going to get all the free agents.
Oh, they'll buy more titles.
Okay, they're going to buy
more
titles,
guys.
and free agents are going to go there, but it's not a destination, Scotty. Think about what you're saying.
No, it's not no, like 10 years ago, every star wanted to go there. That's not the way it is anymore. It's scaled off a little bit.
Since when Dwight left? A couple years ago? That hack?
That actually, the Lakers should be thanking the lucky stars that he left. If he stayed there,
That's not the point. I mean,
I remember when like Laker fans were like, "Oh no, please don't go, Dwight." I'm like this at home, like please sign there.
I
Please
watched
sign
the
there
Lakers
for
game
30
last night. I like Randall.
We could have drafted
I
him.
really do. He
Who did I like in that draft? Who did I like?
You liked Randall.
Who are the two guys I liked in that draft?
You liked Randall, and you liked Parker.
Mm-hmm.
And your third pick was Noah Vonleh.
Yeah,
I'm not. It's not like I wasn't there with you.
Yeah, you're
I'm
right.
just saying. Let's not act like
right. No,
out of all the top picks, who was the best?
No, I wasn't as high on Wiggins as you were, but I would have taken Wiggins over Vonleh.
Yeah, well, yeah, but you.
Jabari was my guy in that draft, and actually, he's starting to recover a little bit from the knee surgery. He's been putting up like a lot of 25, 30-point games. He's looking good.
But I watched that Lakers game last night. I mean, Kobe played well. I know you don't like Kobe. You hate Kobe.
Yeah.
For the last LeBron regular season game, it's going to be the last Kobe LeBron game ever.
I hate him, but I respect him.
Not going to make the playoffs, and they're definitely not going to make it to the finals.
Let me say this. You brought up those two. If it's a seventh game with my life on the line, I'm taking Kobe over LeBron every time.
Well, I think that's why
in a big game.
I think that's why Kobe turned it on. I mean, LeBron won the game. The Cavs is such a better team than the Lakers.
Well, of course, it's March. What's going to happen in June?
Well, no, but Kobe played well.
Give me Kobe in June over LeBron. That's all I'm saying.
Kobe in June probably won't be able to walk at this point, dude.
I'm saying at the peaks, man.
I get it. No, that's still absurd.
You take LeBron over Kobe?
If LeBron's playing with Shaq, sure.
In a big game.
LeBron's going to play with Shaq? Sure.
You need a shot to win a playoff game. Who do you want taking it? LeBron or
Neither
Kobe?
one of them.
You don't want Kobe
I'll
taking
take Rajon Rondo over both of them.
You're insane. Actually,
he makes a lot of big playoff shots.
Rondo was a huge big game player, which is one thing I can never take away from him. But you need a 3 to win a game. That's between those two. You're going to take LeBron over Kobe.
I didn't say that. I don't think I want to take either one of them.
No, LeBron's a better player. But
I think as odd as it sounds, even though you think Kobe is a winner because he has more titles and such, he actually, I believe, has a worse percentage in clutch shooting than LeBron does. We can look it up at some point. I mean, I know people don't want us to go into the stats.
Yeah, we're going to have to look that up. Well, if we're talking all time, then I'll take Bird over everybody.
No, but I'm just saying out of those two. As odd as it sounds, Kobe has like a horrendous clutch shooting percentage. He just does it all the time. He's always there.
He hit a lot of clutch shots in that third game against us.
He had a lot of great teammates.
2010. What?
He had a lot of great teammates.
Didn't say he didn't. Never said he didn't.
I'm not going to say like he didn't play well or wasn't a good player, didn't have great games.
He was a great player, even though I hate him. I do have respect for him as a player. I thought he was a little... It's weird. He alternated between being one of the most selfish players I've ever seen and one of the most, I'm trying to think of the right words here. But he could take over in the big moments. And he could find it. He had, that seventh game, he didn't shoot well against us, but he had, 10 assists, didn't he?
Played like shit. I think he had 11 rebounds, 14 rebounds, something like that.
He was awful shooting the ball.
I think he had 14 rebounds.
No, he didn't have 14 rebounds.
It was a lot.
Don't even look up the box score from that game. I can't even look at the box score. No, don't do it, please.
Why?
Because it sickens me to think about. 18 foul shots. I think it was 18 foul shots in the fourth. But want to get into NFL free agency?
If you want, I mean, real quick, I think the Spurs are legit. I watched that game too last night.
Really, I'm not convinced.
Yeah,
I'm not convinced they're legit. What are they like?
Legit.
What are they like? 52-9?
I'm not. They're 55-10.
55. Okay, yeah, I'm still not convinced.
But I mean, like, I'm not so sure Golden State's just gonna waltz into the finals.
I never said that either.
I didn't say you did.
I think that Western Conference Finals is going to be a war between those two teams.
Oh, I know we talked about that a little bit before, but I was going through both their schedules. The worst I can see the Spurs ending up is 66-16. I think they could end up as good as 70.
You think they're going to lose? You think they're going to lose 6 more games?
That's the most. Well, remember them and Golden State play each other 3 times.
Where are those games?
I think like 2 are at Golden State, 1's at San Antonio.
Did they play yet this year?
I think they played once.
Look that up, will you? Because I can't remember that far back. I don't know if they played yet or not.
The Warriors are 57-6. Worst I can see them is 71-11. That's if they lose 5 more games. And the best I can see them is 74-8.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to lose 5 more.
No,
I think they're breaking the record.
I agree. I think they'll probably win like 73 games.
Do they have any tough games left other than San Antonio?
Play San Antonio twice. They play, I think, Oklahoma City twice. Oklahoma City is the 3rd best team in the West. They're probably the 3rd best team in the league, really, because of the talent at the top end. They play the Clippers again. They play the Celtics. Yeah, buddy.
It's out there.
Someone can tell me, oh yeah, and they have all their players this time, possibly.
And hey, you know what though? The Celtics are probably going to lose that game. Safe to say.
Yeah.
I think it's like early April. Celtics will be in that game. They'll lose the game, but they'll be in it. It'll be like 10 points or so. I don't think they're going to go out there and lose by 30 like some of these other teams.
No, they'll lose by 20.
No, I don't even think they'll lose by 20. I think they'll be in it. I don't think
that's all on how well Golden State plays.
I don't think they're going to win.
Golden State could destroy them.
Oh, they could. I don't think they
could just shit on them. They'll just ring threes.
I still think that the way you beat
Golden State is hope they lose. Hope they just miss shots.
No, I think San Antonio is team best equipped to beat them in the playoff series because they have size.
Well, San Antonio's stacked.
They have size. They have length, which is something that I don't think. You saw how they played against the Cavs last year in the finals. Steph Curry did not have a good NBA final at all.
I get that.
And you said Cleveland had them down 2-1. You could see their threes weren't falling those first 3 games. And
right.
they look mortal. So if they go through a cold stretch and they play San Antonio, yeah, they can lose that series. I keep telling people.
That.
No, I know you agree with me. These people who think Golden State's invincible, no.
No,
I disagree.
Invincible. I saw the greatest team in professional sports history lose. Okay?
That's strong.
Who's better than them?
Than the 07 Patriots?
Yeah.
I don't think they were as good as the 04 Patriots.
That's because you're crazy.
Whatever.
That's because you're crazy. I should take you to a doctor.
Yeah,
get you on some medication.
There are a lot of people that would agree with me, I bet.
There aren't a lot that would agree with you.
Yeah.
Even Tom Brady doesn't agree with you. Actually, no one on those teams agrees with you. Okay? They're all like, yeah, Scotty Cash is fucking crazy. Someone get him some fucking meds. Put this dude to sleep. Give him a shot of fucking Johnny Walker or something and let him fall behind the bar.
I got Johnny Walker.
Yeah, I know you do. But my point is, we should probably take shots just for fun. But yeah, we're gonna finish our show by taking shots. Every time we say Tom Brady, we take a shot. We'll be drunk halfway through the show.
Yeah, no kidding.
We'll probably be dead halfway through the show. We'll be like Goodfellas and taking a shot every time they say fuck. But
most fucks in history.
Yeah. Is it more than Pulp Fiction? They gotta be close, right?
No,
motherfucker.
No, Goodfellas.
Come on, this is bad, motherfucker.
Oh, Samuel had 200 Fs by himself. But no, I think Goodfellas still.
What's in your wallet?
No, I think Goodfellas still has the record. Actually, I'm shocked that Wolf of Wall Street didn't have more. Every other word in that movie was the F word.
Really?
One of the greatest movies of all time, by the way. If you guys haven't seen Wolf of Wall Street, go watch Wolf of Wall Street. I actually watched it last week. I watch it at least once every couple of months. All right, want to get into free agency? You want to talk about the Brock star?
Sure.
Who makes more money than Tom Brady?
Well, I know. I said that the other day. I think his cap hit's going to be like, what, 5 more mil? No, he makes... So his cap hit or he makes 5 more million a year?
I don't know. I don't pay attention to that as much as most people do, but Brock Osweiler is going to the Houston Texans. All right, our man Tyler's going to get the chance to watch him every Sunday, so we'll see how good he is. Actually, it'll be good to see him have a chance to run an offense. You know, I thought he was fine for the Broncos this past year.
He's better than Peyton.
Infinitely better than Peyton.
And that's why I understand why he left. Because if I'm better than somebody and I know I'm better than them, you guys sit there and play him ahead of me?
No, but here's...
Oh, good Lord.
Well, I don't agree with him for being pissed off. And the game that he got pulled...
You don't agree with him?
No, I agree with him being pissed off. And, like, the game he got yanked, they were only down 5. It's not like they were losing by 30 points. I still can't understand that. But even, like, throw the comparison to Peyton as he was out the window. Even on his own laurels, I thought he was fine. He did exactly what they needed him to do. Hit a big play once in a while. He could manage a game. He wasn't great, but he was okay. I'm interested to see how he does in Houston. So it's 4 years, $72 million. Houston a contender in the AFC South with this move?
In the AFC South?
Yeah.
I'm a contender in the AFC South.
Okay, thank you.
I mean,
I just wanted to make sure.
Jack's to better trips to win's a contender in the AFC South. I mean, it's the AFC South. It's not even really a division. I mean, I guess Jacksonville's a contender. They just picked up a bunch of players. Everyone's a contender.
You may disagree.
That division's horrible.
You may disagree with me. Now that they have a competent quarterback, top to bottom, they're better than Indianapolis is. Obviously, Andrew Luck's a better quarterback. But they might be... Yeah, dude. Hey, Houston's defense isn't that bad. The reason they gave up 30 points in Kansas City is because Brian Hoyer was throwing picks and going 3-0.
But they're not that good, though.
They're not that good, but they're not horrible.
Okay. So our new barometer here is, well, the defense ain't that bad, so they're better than Indy.
Yeah, because Indy's defense is atrocious.
Okay, so that's one aspect. I'm not sure the top to bottom. I'm not sure how I like those rosters top to bottom. I mean, I know you got some names on Houston. I love DeAndre Hopkins. He's a beast. I mean, J.J. Watt's a freak. Still probably the best defender in the league.
Joseph's a good cornerback.
Yeah, he's pretty good. I think it's overrated. I mean,
he's hurt a lot, but I mean, Jadeveon Clowney, the talent is there. I know he's hurt like all the time.
Can't help the club from in the tub.
I get that.
And nothing else to say about that.
I get that, but you have him coming to the opposite side of Watt if he can stay on the field.
You could say, oh, Chris O'Keefe would be great for Houston if he could stay on the field. Like, that doesn't mean anything.
I don't think you're as injury prone as Jadeveon is.
That's my point, though, but you don't even know. Like, it's ridiculous. It's absurd. The Broncos, they've been pilfered, man.
About to say, they lost Danny Trevathan to the Bears.
Yeah.
Malik Jackson
leading tackler, by the way.
Yep. Malik Jackson went to the Jaguars.
The guy that was probably playing the best on the defensive line.
I mean,
granted, I'm not saying he was the best player. He was playing the best.
Elway, I think Elway knew that this day was coming, and I think he's just relieved that they got a Super Bowl out of it. Because he knew he wasn't going to be able to keep all these guys for like the last 2 years. We've known that.
Well, to me, this makes Elway look incompetent. I'm sorry. You can sit here and tell me, oh, he's made the playoffs every year. All right, the team was good when he got there. They were already in good standing. As weird as this sounds, McDaniels actually drafted well for them other than Tebow. Okay?
Yeah, that was...
So,
wow.
They actually had talent there. I mean, maybe not like they were the best team ever, but they won the division with Tebow. They were 8-5 with Tebow that year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? A team that goes 8-5 with Tebow is obviously a stacked team top to bottom. Then Peyton went there. He got a lot of extra free agents. I get it. It was an arms race between us and them for years in the AFC. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's actually amazing that the Ravens won that Super Bowl because they beat us and the Broncos and the Broncos and us, however you want to look at it, on the way there. Those two teams were much better than that Ravens team.
But if Gronk's healthy, they probably beat them in that championship game. But
yeah, well, if Walker can catch, if Belichick coaches better, if Ridley doesn't die on the way to the ground getting hit, I mean, there's a lot of things that happen in that game. Well, that was up there as one of Belichick's worst coaching jobs I've seen as well.
Yeah.
That game.
Yeah.
Pretty freaking bad. But I mean, I don't know. How do you lose so many players?
Okay, I have to stop the broadcast here for just a second. And I know we're jumping all over this. We'll get back to NFL free agency really quickly. You guys know that I've been obsessive compulsive about the Brooklyn Nets because I want the draft pick. How the hell did they lose to Philly again? They beat all these good teams, and they hang in there with all these good teams. They led Toronto by 18 the other night. And you lose to Philly?
You know what?
They're trying to lose.
You know what upsets me? Scotty gets upset when they win or lose games. I don't understand you. That's a good thing.
It's a great thing. I just don't understand it. How did they fucking lose to that team? Philly is awful. Julio Okafor didn't even play. Oh man. Oh, and someone got hurt. Looks like someone died. Who the hell is
Holy
it?
shit.
Yeah, I don't know what
Doesn't
happened.
tell us. Just shows us someone in a stretcher. Breaking news. Player dies on court.
Back after this. Yeah, that doesn't look good. All right, but anyway, back to NFL free agency. The Pats were looking at they were looking for an upgrade in the running game. They were looking at C.J. Anderson. He actually signed with Miami. I think Denver still has a chance to match. Have they officially declined it yet? Can Denver still match, or did they let him just go to the Dolphins?
Denver has 4 days to match. What was that? 2 days ago now?
But they haven't said yes, we are going to match, or no.
No, they have 4 days though.
Okay.
Remember,
They haven't done
the
it yet.
Patriots tried to get Emmanuel Sanders. What happened?
They didn't get him
Why?
because
They
they
matched.
matched.
Yeah, plenty of time. I mean, I don't even know if Denver will match. I mean, I think they kind of have to. Look at everyone else they lost.
Let's see.
Peyton retires, which is fine.
But I still think that Peyton retires, and that's an upgrade. I don't care what anyone says.
It's automatically an upgrade.
Mark Sanchez right now is an upgrade over what Peyton was,
Actually, it's really close.
and I'm not even being facetious.
Come on, I'm not sure about that. It's really close.
Sanchez can throw the ball further than 5 yards down the field.
Sanders can also butt fumble. Even Peyton can't do that.
No, Peyton just gives himself up in a playoff game and gets up, dusts himself off, and throws it for
A first down, which was a pivotal moment in
Awful.
that game. One of the worst officiating things I've seen that they screwed up.
Well,
That's
I mean-
why everything should be reviewable. Again, that could have changed the whole history books. That one play. I could care less either way. I'm not a Broncos fan, and I'm not a Pittsburgh Steelers.
You hate both teams, yeah.
Right. I could care less. I mean, if
I was
I'd
rooting for Pittsburgh.
I'm probably happier that Peyton Manning won, being the 18th wheel on an 18-wheeler, okay, as opposed to if Ben Roethlisberger won another Super Bowl, right? As a Brady fan,
I like Ben.
as a Brady fan, do you want to see Roethlisberger have a third Super Bowl?
Brady has 4. Why not?
Okay, and then suddenly Roethlisberger gets 4 a couple years from now,
And
and you have to talk about cheaters and rapists.
I don't know if Ben raped her, honestly.
We've had this conversation when it's really hard for
Yeah,
you when it comes to rich people raping people. I'm not saying they don't do it. I'm just saying it's a little different. This isn't Roman times where it's like a Dominus or a Domino's like, yeah, have sex with me now, you're dead. That's not how this works. Like, you got these hoes jumping on dudes' dicks left and right, trying to get pregnant with their kids because, I mean, ask Antonio Cromartie. Doesn't matter if the guy has a vasectomy or not.
He doesn't even pay child support anyway, does he?
He doesn't even know what he doesn't even know what children are. He's like, I don't know what these are. I got like 14 of them. Oh, what's their names and ages? I don't know. You know what I mean?
All right, so that Sixer guy that was carted off was Robert Covington. I don't even know who that is. I'm not trying to be funny. I have no idea who the fuck that is. Yeah, so, thoughts and prayers with him, obviously. But, yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks, Philly. I feel dirty. I was happy that LA beat them last week, and I feel dirty that Philly beat them this week. Ugh.
I don't understand why you're upset about it.
Because I want the damn pick. They get the first. We've said this. I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. They get the first pick. Ainge can do whatever he wants.
Oh, I heard they have a great chance of signing Horford.
Yeah. Did you hear the second end of that? Which I think is absolutely
What
ridiculous.
was the second end of that?
The second part of that. You must have heard about it.
No.
That Al Horford's on the short list of people that Kevin Durant would like to play with.
I didn't hear that. That's what he said. I heard that there's a chance if they sign Horford, they could get Kevin Durant.
There's no. I'm going on record right now. There is no. They could sign Kevin Durant's father and cousin. Okay. There is no way Kevin Durant is coming here. Zero. Zilch. Nada. Okay?
Listen.
Did I make that clear
Let me
enough?
explain something to you.
Explain
Okay?
it to me.
If they sign Al Horford, and they have the team that they have with the picks they have and all the value of everything they have, there's no reason why Durant wouldn't want to come here. I don't understand. He ain't winning shit in the West.
Let me ask you this. They keep this core together, more or less. They may,
He should leave the West if he's smart.
No, hear me out on this. And I'm going to, again, I do not expect this to happen.
You add Durant and, good God, I just fucking forgot his name, Horford to this team, they're going to the finals.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask. You took it out of my mouth.
Depending on how great Durant comes back, because, again, this is his season back from an injury. Depending on how great he comes back.
Yeah, he's still averaging 28 and 7 a game.
Yeah, he's still top 5 player in the league. But my point is he could be better next year. So he comes back, your team grows a little bit.
He's 27 years old, so it's not like he's...
No, he's not 80.
They got, and again, you can't understate what Garnett brought here when he came here. They won a championship. They should have won at least another one. Garnett was 31 when they
Everyone in the Big Three was over 30.
Ray was 32,
and Paul Pierce was 30.
Paul was 29 at the beginning of that season.
Oh, and okay, he turned 30.
All right, 30.
Like, right away. Like, it was like, second day of the season, Paul Pierce is 30. Okay? It was like, seriously, though. They were all on the wrong end of 30 right away, which is fine.
If you remember that, and again, I didn't even know you back then, but you remember, not everyone was happy they were going to part with Al Jefferson.
I was pumped.
I was like going...
I think I ran around my house naked dancing.
I was going around to
I was pumped.
Anyone who said that, I would say to them, you don't understand.
I made like 7 bets on the Celtics that year, and I collected on all of them. One of them was they were going to win more than 57.5 games. Okay? Someone thought it was ludicrous. Took a big bet.
They won 66 games.
One of them was that they wouldn't make at least the Eastern Conference Finals. Actually, make the finals. Mm-hmm. One of them was they wouldn't make the Eastern Conference Finals. I mean, I don't even remember the other ones. I was just making bets left and right. I'm like, you don't think the Celtics going to win? Oh, let's bet about it. You know what I mean? Because I knew. I was like, are people serious? Do they know how good Kevin Garnett is? Do they realize that other than the year right before he came here, 06, 07, the 3 years before that, you could have argued he was the best player in the league for those 3 years.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Definitely probably for the 3-year stretch. But you could have said he was the best player in the league for those 3 years.
I don't think a player of his caliber in the history of the league played under worse circumstances. I really don't.
No, they didn't. And that's why I have him ranked so high on my all-time list, because if he played, I don't know, with Shaq in the early 2000s like Kobe did, he has like 18 titles.
Oh, LA would have won like 5 in a row.
They're actually winning 2 titles a year. They're like, give you extras because you're so good.
No, but I couldn't believe that at the time. I was going around people, I'm like, no, you don't understand. This is Kevin Garnett.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care who you have to give up. You get him.
Like when we just got Ray Allen, I was like, that's nice, Ray Allen. Like he can shoot and he likes to run around.
Actually, I was a big Ray Allen guy, so I was like...
I like Ray Allen, but I knew that they weren't going to win a title with Paul Pierce and Ray Allen.
No, of course. But that was the shoe to drop according to KG. That said,
that was the shoe to drop.
Yeah. But they're not getting Kevin Durant. All right, Celtic fans need to get that out of their heads.
You keep saying that. You don't know that, Sky. Remember, he bribed his mom before, a long time ago.
Oh, Danny's...
It was like first time in free agency. A lot of cash.
Oh, Danny...
He was like, how much do you need? And she was like, Goodfellas.
Danny's coveted Durant for almost 10 years. I mean, there's no question about that. Danny is on record that had they gotten the first pick in 2007, he was taking Durant. Now, a lot of people question that. I believe him.
Danny's on record, if he had been there in the 80s, first pick would have taken Michael Jordan. Well, he's on record.
A lot of people had Greg Oden higher on the draft boards than Durant, which at the time I still couldn't understand. But
dude, no. I like Durant. Everyone was saying it. I listen, if you're going to do something like that, you come out and you say that before the draft or after you don't have the pick anymore. Don't sit here and tell me years later. That's a bunch of baloney. You wait for a guy to blow out his leg a bunch of time and friggin' get cut from like a Chinese high school team, okay? And then you tell me you would have drafted Durant? That's not how that works with me. That doesn't fly. Go friggin' eat petroleum jelly like, what's-his-face? Steph Marbury.
I believe it because, again, he was like illegally talking to his mother.
I understand that.
Prior to them knowing what
I get that. But you can't tell me something like that after the fact.
Did you...
When did I tell you the Red Sox were going to win the World Series that year?
Like July.
If I told you after they won the World Series already that I thought this in July, would you have said, you're a bullshitter? Should have said that in July.
I still believe him. I
have a problem with people saying stuff like that and trying to act like there's credence to it if you didn't say it earlier.
If they had gotten the first pick, I remember vividly. My brother wanted Odin. My father and I wanted Durant. Who did you want? If they got the first pick,
I didn't care because I didn't think they were going to get the first pick.
they finished with the second worst record in the league. They had a great chance at the first pick.
No, they didn't. Because the draft lottery, no one has a great chance at the first pick. We've been over this.
They had a better chance than most teams.
Even the first place team doesn't have a great chance.
Portland just missed the playoffs that year.
Unless you're Cleveland, you don't get the first pick. Okay, I don't know what to tell you. And Cleveland gets the first pick again. I'm like, they were in the finals. Like, what are you talking about? On that note, when it comes to people saying things later on, okay, and talking about it later on, and acting like holier than thou, I want to get back into the Jess Moran thing.
Before you do that, that's like a dumb argument. First of all,
what do you mean?
They're in the middle of an NBA season in like April of 2007. You expect Danny Ainge to say, if we get the first pick, we're taking Durant. And the draft lottery hadn't even happened.
No, but I expect him after the draft, at the second after the draft, said, oh yeah, if we had had the first pick, we would have taken Durant.
The topic never came up. They got Garnett. It was a moot point. It never came up. They were trying to
He still could have said it a bunch of times.
I
forget when he said it, but it was like a few years ago from now.
They were trying to
It was like, oh, Durant already made the finals and won an MVP. What do you think of Kevin Durant? Oh, we would have picked him first.
They would have tried.
That's like Bill Polian saying he would have picked Tom Brady in the first round. We had him graded as a first-round pick. It's full of shit, dude.
He would never say that. He had Manning. He didn't need a quarterback.
No, he said, no. Polian said, if we had needed a quarterback, he said this year or last year, I can't remember. If we had needed a quarterback, we had Tom Brady graded as a first-round pick.
Yeah, he's full of shit.
That's bullshit.
He's full of it.
You can't take anything like that said serious.
Yeah, but was Bill Polian in 1999 be like going up to Tom Sr. and be like, hey,
I don't know if he wooed Tom Brady's mom. I have no idea what went on. Okay? I don't know about Mr. Polian's moves in his game, or if he's like went golfing with Tom Brady Sr. I have no idea, dude. I'm not on the ins on that, okay? All I can tell you is when you tell me something years later, it doesn't fly. I could be like, America was going to land first on the moon before Russia. I knew it the whole time. I knew it. Cookie, if you weren't even born. But I knew it.
All right.
Like, no, it doesn't fly to me.
All right, let's move on. We got on a tangent about the Celtics somehow. But they were looking at C.J. Anderson, running back. Now, the running game is not how you win in the NFL anymore.
I don't care about a running back.
Aren't Blount, Lewis, and Bolden enough if they're healthy?
You don't even have Blount. You don't need him.
Yeah, you need a pounder. You
need
a ground and pounder for the
Get a guy in the 5th round. Plug him in. Say, dude, fall forward 2 yards, because that's what Blount does.
Yeah, Blount.
You think LeGarrette Blount really does anything?
Yeah, Blount's decent. He's not great. He's decent. I like Blount.
I think they could sign me and I'll fall forward.
Dude, no, you wouldn't.
I wouldn't even stand behind Brady. I'd stand like behind the center and the guard next to Brady, and he would just get the ball handed off to me. I'd just fall forward. Be like, oh, I'm doing what Blount does.
Yeah, but answer that. Like,
I don't need LeGarrette Blount. I'm answering that.
Blount, Lewis, and Bolden, isn't that enough?
Lewis and Bolden is enough.
Okay.
I'd rather get another weapon.
That's fine.
I was happy they cut LaFell. I was telling you they should cut LaFell. I was talking about cutting or restructuring LaFell, but you know what? Now I'm upset about it because someone like Mohamed Sanu gets $6.3 million a year, 6.2, whatever the hell it was.
I was going to say...
That's what he's worth, and what's LaFell worth? 10 mil?
He signed... I'm not even sure that Sanu was an upgrade. I agree with you. He did sign with Atlanta yesterday.
I know. People try to tell me Sanu's an upgrade over LaFell. You guys predict... You don't even know... I think what's Mohamed Sanu have the most? Like 40-something receptions? 50 receptions, maybe?
Something like that.
And he has 30 a lot of years?
LaFell actually had a pretty good year.
I think your mom caught 30 balls in the NFL last year, didn't she?
I think she caught like 20.
Oh, it was only 20. My bad.
She caught more than Dobson. Dude,
I get that.
Dude, my mom's got good hands, man. I throw her the phone, I throw her the remote control.
So we got an offense. Your mom just sits there on the outside. Brady throws it to her. She gets 2 yards. I sit at the line and fall forward as the running back.
I can picture my mom at the end of the line of scrimmage going like, "Ooh!"
we get 3 yards every time in the first 2 downs, and it's Brady. It's 3rd and 7. Tom, figure it out.
But you and I agree on this point. We were talking about it yesterday. I know he's a little bit of a head case. I know his numbers haven't been great. How are your numbers going to be great when you have Ryan Tannehill and Teddy Bridgewater throwing you the ball? Mike Wallace is available. And if you can get him for a reasonable price, throw a bunch of incentives in there. Like 75-plus catches, you get blah, blah, blah. And again, I don't know
if I'm Bill Belichick,
go ahead.
I line him up.
Yep.
I do our little physical.
Mm-hmm.
I put him at the beginning. tell him he's going to run the 40. Hit my stopwatch. I say, run, Wallace, run. See how fast he runs? That's it. It's the only thing. If he can still run, I'm signing him.
Yep.
That's all I care about is if he has the speed. That's all he has to do on this team.
And
take the top off of defense, be a deep threat so Brady can throw him the ball.
And the Patriots.
That's it. Am I wrong?
No, absolutely. I agree.
Draw
with you
safety
100%.
coverage once in a while. If you have Amendola, Edelman, Gronk, and Wallace, I don't need Wallace to be anything special.
You just need him to be serviceable and to be a
If he
threat.
can be somewhere between a Brandon Lloyd and a Chad Ochocinco in terms of production, I'm ecstatic. If he can be a Dante Stallworth, I'm ecstatic.
Stallworth was all right.
Yeah, but that's all I need him to do. That's all Stallworth did. Okay, you're going to run like this. I can do that. I can run forward. Good.
But you're right. I mean, with Edelman, Amendola, Gronk, and now Chris Hogan, who I like.
And
I don't know how you feel about Hogan. I like him.
Whatever. Doesn't matter.
You're a whatever. I like him. Good.
Martin, you still have Martin. Get Chris Harper.
Yeah, he's a practice squad guy.
But how do we know that?
Yeah,
Dobson's still sitting
can't
there.
recover punts, man.
This one, dude, you shouldn't have been in a situation.
Pretty big friggin' punt.
That's Belichick's fault. I've been over this. He should have said, "I don't care what the hell happens. That ball comes near you. You let it land. Or you fair catch it immediately."
Should have just let it go.
Right. I would have said, just let it go.
We're up 2 touchdowns. We're not getting into that one, but you don't need Mike Wallace to be 2007 Randy Moss. You just need him to be productive and take a top off of defense deep, like you said.
I'll take a slightly better than Bethel Johnson for 500.
Yeah.
Is that the daily double?
All right, so yeah, I mean, I would at least kick the tires on him. I don't know where Bill stands on him, because I mean, he's got his guys that he likes and guys that he doesn't. He always seemed to like Chad Ochocinco, so I wasn't surprised when he brought him in for the 11th season. But a lot of these have panned out. I mean, Moss panned out, Corey Dillon panned out.
Brandon Lloyd panned out.
He had a good year.
Only a season. What was it? 79 receptions for like
He had a
1,000
good year.
yards and like.
He had a good year. I think he wasn't flashy, and he went down as soon as he caught the ball. So
he just jumped up in the air, caught the ball, and fell.
He was terrible.
And he just stayed there.
He was horrible yards after the catch. But as far as
yards after catch, he was a negative.
Right.
So the first man in the history of the game to have a negative yards after catch.
But he was productive. I mean, he was productive. But yeah. I mean, I think Bill should look into that. So the Jets signed Matt Forte.
That's nice.
Yeah, exactly. They don't know if Fitzy's going to be back or not.
You know what's awesome? And not that I'm saying that some of these teams haven't gotten better, or they might not suddenly be good for once at some point, some season.
Mm-hmm.
But all the teams that win free agency are continuing to win free agency every year. And none of them are getting good. Jacksonville signs players every fucking year.
Which brings us
Miami signs
to
players
the Miami
every
Dolphins.
Year. Miami signed and added a lot of talent.
Mario Williams.
Yeah.
They traded for Kiko Alonso and Byron Maxwell from Philadelphia.
Yeah.
They signed C.J. Anderson.
Well, to a sheet, but yep.
Yeah.
We'll consider that signed.
Sure. Ryan Tannehill is still your quarterback. It's been 4 years. I'm still waiting for Tannehill to have that breakout season that everyone keeps saying that he's going to have. Go ahead. What?
I think the Patriots can get Brent Grimes.
I don't want anything to do with his wife. Leave her in Miami.
All right, leave her in Miami. Bring him to New England. Is there a problem with that? I don't care what she tweets.
Yeah, Belichick would cut him just based on the wife.
But is that right though? I mean, if you can
file for divorce, or you're off the team.
Maybe he should, dude.
I don't know. At least for his sake, you hope he
could hire Ray Rice to punch a bitch.
Wayne Brady.
Wayne Brady gonna have to choke a bitch? Oh God. We're not endorsing domestic violence. That's a joke.
No, we're not Roger Goodell.
No, Chappelle Show, one of the greatest shows ever. So mad when that came off because Dave went crazy. He's sharing meds with Scotty, by the way.
What the hell?
I don't know, when you were being crazy earlier.
What do you fucking mean crazy earlier?
Earlier, you said a bunch of stupid stuff.
Earlier when? Like today?
Yeah, when we were talking.
Like what?
I don't even remember what you said, but it was crazy.
Like sports related or life related?
Yeah, that's why I told you to go fall over there, take a shot and fall.
Oh, I forget.
On some meds.
I forget what it was. I'm gonna have to listen to it tomorrow. All right, so I'm expecting the Dolphins to do their obligatory 8-8, 9-7, even with all these signings, because again, Ryan Tannehill's just not that guy.
So the Jags going to be competitive?
Jacksonville?
Yeah.
5 or 6 wins.
Well, they got Gabbert. I like him.
Yeah, he's all right.
They've been signing players.
Blake Bortles is actually, he's not bad. What do you think?
Oh, that's what I meant. Bortles, Gabbert. Wow.
That's what I thought you meant, but I wasn't sure.
They got Bortles. He's a good player.
Yeah, he's not bad.
They got young, talented receivers. They got a tight end. They signed players this year. I mean, I don't know what you think, Scotty. Are they gonna be able to do anything?
I don't understand. I just don't understand why people are getting all excited in South Beach when Ryan Tannehill's still your quarterback. That's all I'm saying.
They do this every year, dude. I've been over this.
I know it.
No, but they did it when they signed Sue. They did it when they signed Wallace. They did it when they signed everybody.
Yeah, I mean, the AFC East, assuming health again, is over for at least the next couple of years. Because I don't think the Jets are getting a competent quarterback. They're probably going to lose Fitzpatrick, which is a scary prospect if you're a Jets fan. Because Geno Smith has to be your starter, right? Unless that Bryce Petty's going to be your starter. Who are they going to get? Colin Kaepernick.
Have somebody, I guess?
Colin Kaepernick wants to go to the Browns. I don't know why.
Look, he wants to go to the Browns. It doesn't mean he's going to go there. He could go wherever they trade him to. That's how that works.
Imagine if his value plummeted that bad that the Browns didn't want him.
Well, no. Listen, first of all, if he's smart, I told you this before, and I did tell you this before. I'm not just saying this because.
By the way, you lost that bet. Just give it up, bro.
Listen.
Give it up.
If Kaepernick goes to Denver,
not going to go to Denver.
You don't know that, and he's still a perfect fit. I've been saying this. A perfect fit for Kubiak's offense. He is perfect.
Okay.
That'll work great.
Tell me why he's perfect.
He can run a read option.
That's all he can do.
Okay, he can throw deep. He has a cannon. He's pretty accurate, actually. If we'll say they re-signed C.J. Anderson, if C.J. Anderson is your running back, okay.
I don't think they're going to at this point, but
regardless,
I'll devil's advocate.
Yeah,
okay.
Well, I don't know if Kaepernick's going to go there. You have Kaepernick as your quarterback. You still have Demaryius Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders.
I don't see it.
Is there a reason why you don't see it?
I think he's the classic read option quarterback that just isn't able to manage the game from the pocket. Do you have any confidence that he could become
that he can run a bootleg? Yeah, I do.
Do you have any?
He can run a zone.
Do you have any confidence that he could develop into a pocket
Kubiak
passer
system
at this point?
He can run. No, Kubiak system isn't all about pocket passing though. Just has to get in the center, hand the ball off sometimes, run some bootlegs. Put it this way: the offense is better fit for Kaepernick than it ever was for Peyton Manning.
Yeah, obviously. Peyton was never mobile really anyway, and toward the end of the year, his mobility was a bigger strength than his throwing arm. If you think about it, I still can't believe he won a Super Bowl. Look, it's been over a month, and it's still hard for me to believe. So that's the Dolphins. Deflategate appeal. Do you have any thoughts on the how Paul Clement, who's the NFL lawyer again, lied in his briefs to the 3-judge panel? Sally Jenkins and others have called him out on it.
A lot of people will call him out on it.
They're calling out Goodell in the league. There was actually a third-party brief from a lawyer in New York. What's it? Bleckler? Was that who it was?
That's from a while ago.
No, I thought it was recent.
No, that was written in December 2015. We talked about it then. We didn't bring it up on here, but we talked about it. Here with the amicus brief.
All right, I thought that was fairly more recent, but
no, basically calling the NFL a fraud, saying the whole thing was fraudulent. And that goes to the court. I mean, that's why we were confused that these judges, did they read anything ahead of time?
Yeah.
I mean, the guy clearly lied, Clement, and he is ethically obligated and professionally obligated. I mean, he doesn't technically have to, but he's supposed to correct his misstatements because they were lies. Whether he did it on purpose or not, I mean, supposedly he didn't know. That's regardless because he just did what the NFL told him to say. If he doesn't, then Kessler should report it. And if he doesn't, then there's about 47,000 media members that have already said it, and then that means the judges and or their clerks should figure it out. And if not, I'm sure someone else is going to write another amicus brief, like someone like Mike Florio, from Cold Hard Football Facts could do that.
Yep.
He write an anarchist brief to the court saying, listen, this needs to be corrected. It's like you said. Sally Jenkins put it out there. She blew it up. A lot of other people have said it. I mean, all the legal community's been into it. Like the guy clearly lied multiple times.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Celtics are losing, by the way, 99-93. Not that anyone cares.
James Harden, 29 points on 9 of 19 shooting. Probably gave up 40 on the other end. But
doubtful. Don't hate. You got 4 other players to play defense for you.
Amir Johnson in 14 minutes, 0 points and 2 rebounds. Good job, Amir. Hell of a game.
Defensive presence.
Dude, the guy sucks. He is so bad.
Team with Harden, you golden.
I honestly think that Olynyk's better. Olynyk's better than him. At least Olynyk can hit a 3 once in a while. This guy does nothing.
Plays better defense.
Guy does nothing.
So do you like guys that play offense and no defense, or play defense and no offense?
He doesn't play either.
Because you're complaining about, no, he plays good defense.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does.
He really doesn't. 14 minutes, you're that tall, you can only grab 2 rebounds.
Rebounds on all of defense.
Well, I get that.
Defense isn't all rebounds, I should say.
He's in the paint as much as he is. He should have more than 2 defensive rebounds.
In 14 minutes, probably every player should have more than 2 rebounds.
And Houston's shooting terribly tonight. They're shooting in the 30s. So for him to only have 2 rebounds is a disgrace. I don't care how many minutes he played. But yeah, this Deflategate appeal, it just needs to go away.
That's why I'm kind of over it. I just want, when the outcome comes out, then I'll care. But I do think if these judges rule against Brady now, this gives more of a reason to appeal. That there was factual misrepresentations that should have put into question.
They have a case now. You're right.
Yeah, to either go to the whole Second Circuit or they go to the Supreme Court. Because of the amicus brief you're talking about, Robert Bleckler's brief, and all these other media members pointing out the fact that this is inherently an unfair case from the get. If they go back and say, oh, you should have let arbitration stand. Well, again, like I told you last time, an arbiter is supposed to be impartial.
Goodell was anything but.
Right. On top of that, all the lies and the basic unfairness, this was a hoax. It was fraud. They just went out. I mean, they had the 7th grader named Goodell, like we talked about. He disproved Deflategate.
Right here from good old Lynn, Massachusetts.
I mean, does it get any better that his name's Goodell, too?
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
That's the best.
The funny thing is, like, I was just like kind of.
I actually feel bad for the kid. I'm like, oh,
yeah, change your name. That's like having your last name be shithead.
Oh, Adolf Hitler. What's your last name? Hitler. Adolf Hitler. Oh, God.
Hitler might be strong. I think Mussolini's like appropriate though. I'm willing to go with Mussolini.
You hate Goodell that much, but now you're not going to go there?
Well, Goodell hasn't killed 6 million. Goodell hasn't killed 6 million Jews.
You don't know that.
He's killed the NFL.
You don't know Goodell's life.
Okay, he's taken the NFL and thrown it into an oven. But for some reason,
so he's killed 6 million fans.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, you're right. Yeah, maybe
so who do you hate more, Goodell or Hillary Clinton?
Oh man, both of them are just horrendous liars.
Would you rather have Goodell be president or Hillary Clinton?
Neither.
What if it was one or the other? You had to choose.
I choose death. Because if either one of them is president, I'm going to die soon.
See, anyway. So maybe Goodell's killed 6 million Italians.
Oh my God! Imagine
joking about the Holocaust. Not a funny thing. Not serious. Think about how long ago that was.
I'm trying to.
It's not too soon. Too soon.
I'm trying to digest what you just said. Either Hillary or Goodell. Oh my God! I'd have to think about it. I think Hillary isn't as dumb as Goodell, and isn't as aloof as Goodell. But Goodell, believe it or not, might be more arrogant. Is that fair?
So Goodell's more dumb, more aloof, and more arrogant?
Yeah.
So you're gonna pick Hillary?
I might have to.
Oh God.
How bad is that?
Mark that on the record books.
The thing
Scratch that down in your calendar.
The thing is, like, both of them are pathological
Note
liars.
To self.
Like, lying is like a reflex.
I have found the person that Scotty would vote in after Hillary Clinton.
Dude, Hillary and Goodell, in with the air, out with the lie. Every word they say. I'm not sure her name is Hillary Clinton. Is her name Hillary Clinton?
I don't think so.
Wrong.
I don't know her name.
Hillary Rodham. That's a lie.
Hillary Rodham Clinton.
Did you want to get into the Jessica? I still don't see why it's a big deal, but did you want to get into the Jess Moran thing?
Listen, it's not a huge deal.
It's not.
We talked about it last week when it had just happened. It's not a huge deal that they were banging. I don't care. Do you care?
Absolutely
not a big deal.
They're adults. They can do whatever they want.
Right. It's only a big deal because they're supposed to be professional and she's supposed to be unbiased. This is the equivalent of Goodell being the arbiter, okay? She's supposed to be an unbiased media person. Up until a week ago, she was doing interviews with John Farrell, asking about his relationships with Lovello. And
you think she was like giving him a hand job, like under the camera?
I'm sure she was. I mean, he was smiling, wasn't he? There's only so much we can go with, yeah.
Yeah, but you know what though? It's not like she's going down to the dugout during games and giving him a happy ending during the game. I mean, it was in private.
How do we know that? Yeah, well, it was in private, but my thing is, and I'm more upset with the media in general, because supposedly a lot of media members knew this, but they've been crucifying him and her the whole week. Okay, if you're going to crucify them for their integrity or lack thereof, okay. But yet, most of you knew this or had heard whispers about this, and you didn't report this either.
I got a problem.
This has supposedly been over a year.
I got a problem with that
at least. So if these, and that means if the media members knew this for over a year and none of them were reporting it, it's probably been a relationship for at least 2 years, right?
Write that a year ago. Don't write it now.
Right. That's my point. Come out with it and
say
it.
You're right.
That's huge. That goes back to the thing I was saying earlier, where you're going to say something. No, the timing of when you say something is the epitome of whether it holds any meaning.
You've been writing an article for like a month and a half.
I'm not writing it anymore because you know what? None of it's relevant.
All that stuff happened.
Not all of it, but I mean a lot of it happened. I'm not writing it anymore. I am writing an article about Cloud.
Okay.
About him being. It's time that we respect him.
I always did. Okay? I never stopped.
Bruins fans don't. Not enough of them.
You know what? I think a lot of Bruins fans who eat, sleep, and breathe hockey, I think they appreciate him.
I really don't think they do. Most of the Bruins fans I know still want to run him out of town. They still don't like the guy.
I think that's more of like the Pink Hats who like.
No, I think it's the Pink Hats that like him, and the true Bruins fans that don't.
Oh, so we're Pink Hats.
For hockey, yeah, kind of. I mean, it's like a half pink, half black, like cut across, like with a B. Yeah. I'm like, hey, what quarter is it? The fuck is that black thing rolling around on the ice? Put the ball out there. It's time to play. You know what I'm saying? But no, realistically though, I mean,
Celtics lose 102-98.
On top of that,
that ends the 14-game winning streak.
Does this put Farrell in the hot seat already?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So you agree with me with that? The decision might be made by May if they're sucking, or is it going to be like April?
I know
20th. They just.
I know it was either last week or the week before. You asked me the leash that he has, or I said the leash that he has was early or mid-June. If they really
I said Memorial Day.
It could be like the end of April now.
Yeah.
This is exactly what the Red Sox
did not want.
I'm sure it's not what Dombrowski wants. Do you know what though? Like half of the problem's already gone. Jessica Moran resigned. It's not like she worked.
Why didn't she just start working for another team, like the Celtics or the Bruins? Or something?
I don't know. I'm sure they would have given her a position.
Like stay with
Comcast
and go to.
May not have been the missionary position, but they would have given her a position.
Oh no, she's not going to be a priest and go tell everyone the good word.
Hey, nun, you mean?
It was a joke.
She's a chick.
I understand.
Can you be a female priest?
You can be a priestess. I mean, I guess if females are now actors, then I guess women are now priests, right? Am I right?
So does that mean they try to?
Does that mean female gods are now gods?
So here's my question: if you have a
politically correct, there's no such thing as a goddess.
Hold on. Here's my question: if you have a female priest, is that female priest going to try to scissor a 7-year-old girl?
Look, dude, that's wrong. My kid's going to be baptized a Catholic, and that's the goddamn end of it. All right? You trying to talk my wife out of this? She doesn't listen to us podcast anyways.
Oh, that's too bad.
But she's like, I hate sports. Why would I listen to you talk sports?
Yeah, but she loves me. I thought she might listen.
Yeah, but after you voted for Trump, dude, that dwindled. She's like, Scotty's all right. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Can we talk about how Pablo apparently also looks horrible?
Can we talk about how David Price looks horrible?
That's not relevant.
Yeah, it's very relevant.
No. Look at You're hitching. He has a bad outing.
Yeah,
So what?
you're hitching your wagons to this guy, and I'm telling you,
To a guy that has one bad outing in spring season.
but he's not that good, especially in big games.
It's spring training, dude.
He's a very good pitcher. He's not a great pitcher.
He has one bad outing. You're gonna sit there and get all uppity on him. Happens all the time.
2 home runs.
I don't care if it was 17 home runs, dude.
To guys who's probably going to be bagging groceries in another 3 weeks. I don't even know who
Right.
I don't
And you
even
know
know who
what?
hit the home runs actually.
Spring training, this happens all the time. This is the equivalent of us saying Zach Sudfeld is a Hall of Famer.
Well, I never said that.
Listen, you were there with me. You're about to put him in Canton, all right?
Studfeld. No, I never said that. I said
Mini Gronk, this dude's a beast.
no.
I'll go look up some of the emails.
Look up some of the
I will.
emails. You called him Studfeld. You had him in Canton. You were like you and Steve Burton and Newmy. You had them all in Canton. I was like, I mean, it's.
Well, that's the thing. And then so what we would do is people also go crazy about spring training and what's going on. The only thing I am worried about is Pablo. It looks like he can't fucking move.
You're just talking defensively, right?
Yes.
Because he's actually swinging the bat well.
That's great.
Early.
What's he going to be, a DH? Because he can't move. You're better off with Ortiz at third. It's Pablo who can't move.
Ortiz actually has decent hands at first base. He just has no range.
So we'll just tell him to fall over. He'll cover more ground than Pablo. Fall either way if you see the ball going that way. Maybe you'll get it, maybe you won't. Yeah, you'll be better than Pablo. He can't move.
Yeah, you're not going to have a left-handed third baseman.
He can't move.
What do you want me to say? I didn't sign him.
I didn't say you did, but he can't move.
I had the Orioles to take him. DH him.
What will you trade us in return?
You can have Peter Angelos.
Yeah, that's not going to fly.
Put him at third.
It's probably better defensively.
Put that fucking gargoyle at third.
I don't even know what to say about that, though. Dude can't move, Scotty.
It's early.
I know you kept telling me, it was spring training. He's going to get in shape. So you have spring training to get in shape.
Yeah.
Can't fucking move.
It's still early.
He came back. He lost all this weight. He's coming back in better shape. Fucking beached whale. I don't even know what to say about him.
That's an insult to a beach whale.
That's my point. They're like, you're 17% body fat. I'm like, 17% like squid? Like, what do you mean you can't fucking move? I don't know what to say.
Are you sure
about
they
this
didn't
guy.
say 70 and not 17?
Yeah. That's the thing, yeah. Oh, it was a misprint. No, dude, we didn't say 17. We said 70% body fat. Like, is that even physically possible without dying?
Are you sure, like, Biggie didn't get killed? I think that's him down at third base. And another one.
Dude, he can't move.
I booted another one.
I don't know what to say about a guy that can't move.
That's too early.
Now, if he's a DH, that'd be fine. Just hit and walk to first. The dude can't fucking move.
I wouldn't be if you're a Red Sox fan. I wouldn't be jumping in a lifeboat yet. It's still too early.
I'm not, because we can put Brock Holt there. But
Well, yeah, Brock Cole can play basically anything except pitcher. But
I mean, I don't even know. Maybe see if he can be like a long reliever.
oh,
Brock.
I tell you what, if it's Game 7 of a playoff series, I'd rather start him than David Price. I'm just not a David Price.
Start Brock Holt.
Start Brock
Now
Holt.
starting Game 7, Brock Holt.
Dude, Brock Holt's such a... He's got like ice water in his veins. He probably throw like a 7-hit shot.
He's got watermelon balls, huh?
Yeah, he could throw like a 2-hit
That's what you're
shot.
telling me?
Yeah. Sam Cassell, big balls.
Sam Cassell's a fucking alien, dude. He's an alien. This dude's not a human.
I forget what song it was. It was some rap song. One of the lyrics was ugly like Sam Cassell.
That's an understatement.
Yeah, good player though.
He's a great player.
I wouldn't say great. I'd say very good.
Very, very good player in clutch moments.
Yeah.
He helped a lot of teams with
He's got 3
runs.
rings.
He was really good in Minnesota that one year KG had a team around him.
With him and
03,
Spreewell.
04,
And,
yeah.
yeah.
Then he got hurt in the playoffs and they lost in the Western
They
Conference
could have
Finals.
beaten LA if he was healthy.
They could have made the finals that year. They probably would have won.
They would have lost to Detroit, I think.
KG was a freak.
Yeah,
dude.
but the way that team was playing at that time.
Spreewell and Cassell with KG.
By the time the finals rolled around, that Piston team was a wagon. We've talked about it before.
KG was a wagon.
I get that, but you could have put Wallace and Rashid on him. He was the only big they had on that team.
I think they had Michael Wakandi.
No, they were.
They had Olowokandi.
That was redundant, by the way. I said you could put Wallace and Rashid. You could put Ben Wallace.
I
and
knew
Rashid
what you meant.
Wallace. Yeah,
you
but
put the Wallaces on.
yeah,
William Wallace.
Other people may not know that. Malcolm Wallace. You got anything else?
Nah, I think I'm good.
Man, it must be the dead zone. Only an hour and a half, give or take.
I mean, we could talk about March Madness, but I have nothing to say about it until it actually happens.
Yeah, I mean, I expect. I think Kansas is ranked number 1 in the country right now. I think they'll get a 1 seed. I think Villanova will get a 1 seed. Other than that, it's really wide open. I mean, there's.
Oh, I think somebody from the ACC is going to get a 1 seed?
I don't know. I think this is going to be. I mean, Kentucky's had a down year. Duke's had a down year.
Well, Duke was the 19 seed. They already number 19 team. They already lost in the ACC tournament.
Yeah, I mean they're going to be in the.
I don't think UNC is going to get. Well, yeah, they're going to be in the tournament. They're not going to be. You think UNC is going to?
UNC could. I watched them I watched them like last week. They're a good team.
Tell me you weren't impressed.
Not really. No. Not really.
GSP me. I am not impressed.
I'm really not impressed. And I know Roy Williams has won 2 national titles.
You gonna watch MMA?
No.
Oh, dude, you don't know what you're missing.
I know Roy Williams has won 2 national championships. Dude loses a lot of big games. But there's no pressure on him this year because I don't think they're that good.
What does it mean if you lose big games?
You're in them.
Exactly. That's all I got to say about that.
Dude, at Kansas, he had Paul Pierce, Rafe LaFrentz, college Rafe LaFrentz, not NBA Rafe LaFrentz.
Well, it's the same guy. I know what you mean.
Well, he's an All-American at Kansas. He had Jacques Vaughn. That team didn't even make it to a Final Four, which is still amazing. But, yeah, I'm excited for March Madness. I think they start Thursday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Selection Sunday. This Sunday, so we'll see the opening brackets, who they're going to play. Well, since we're on the subject of college basketball, Coach K, where does he rank all time for you?
College basketball?
No, women's lacrosse. Yes, college basketball.
Oh, women's lacrosse first, without a doubt. They even let him in the friggin' in the locker rooms, watching the girls change.
Was that before or after the rape, or during?
Coach K got raped?
No, but seriously, where do you put Krzyzewski all time?
Second.
Behind John Wooden?
Yeah. I don't know how you put anyone over Wooden. I mean, you could say it's way different, but I get he had like absolute ridiculous teams.
Well, he had Kareem and Walton back to back, but yeah, I would.
I mean, has Coach K not had like a bajillion stars?
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, you talk about the greatest coaches in the history of college basketball. I mean, it's John Wooden, it's Krzyzewski, it's probably Bobby Knight,
Dean Smith.
I don't like him, but I think you have to put Pitino in there. He's won everywhere he's been.
Calipari. Up to somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, and then you get into guys. You get someone like Boeheim. He's only won 1 championship. Even Tom Izzo.
By the way, Boeheim's sitting here complaining that while he was suspended, his team went, I think it was 4-5 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And he doesn't think that should be held against his team.
I don't know.
Did your team not lose those games while you were gone?
Yeah.
That shouldn't be held against them for the selection committee.
I don't know. It's like does Luke Walton get credit for starting 26-0 with Steve Kerr? You know what I mean? It's one of those things.
Well, Luke Walton was coaching.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is Luke Walton going to get credit for that? Probably not. It's probably going to go on Steve Kerr's record, wouldn't it?
Oh, I think he goes to Luke Walton.
Are you sure about that?
Hey, he's 26-0 as head coach. I don't know.
he lost a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Tom Izzo, no one really talks about. He's been to like at least 3 or 4 Final Fours. He won once. Calhoun's won 3 championships.
Yeah, Calhoun's underrated.
Yeah, he. And again, it comes back to the players. You got to have the good players, but. Yeah, and I'm not you know that I hate Duke, and I'm not a Krzyzewski guy, but other than Wooden, I can't really say it. I can't think of anyone who'd be better. Maybe,
I agree with you.
Maybe Bobby Knight or Dean Smith, but that's it.
That's why, I mean, Roy Williams has got to be up there somewhere. I know you just said you basically think he sucks, but...
No, he's a very good coach, but... All I can think of, when I think of Roy Williams, I don't think of the 2 national championships. I think of him...
Oh, wait, can you say that again?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. I know he's won 2 national championships.
Okay.
I think of Roy Williams going to the podium crying after losing to an inferior team in the tournament. That's what I think of Roy Williams.
So you lose to an inferior team, you cry, and now that makes you not a good... Crying voids national championships. I just want you to know that.
Yes, he's the Dick Vermeil of the NCAA.
Dick Vermeil.
Had to get a Dick Vermeil reference in there.
I think he just wanted to say Dick.
Well, I could say Dick Tracy. I could say Dick... I could say, Dick
What's
Clark.
your Dick Tracy reference going to be? Dick Clark.
What's my Dick Tracy reference? Go watch the movie because Al Pacino was in that. It was awesome.
You're absurd.
I got nothing. I'm running on empty. I got nothing else to say. Do you?
Not really. I mean, we kind of touched on everything. I don't know what else it would be to touch on. Not all the boys. You were the one that brought up priestess scissoring some girls. I mean, that's absolutely disgusting.
I'm a Catholic and I haven't gone back to church since. So
since the scandals?
I haven't been to church since. Well, I mean, like I went to,
since we won our last Super Bowl. What is the sense?
No, I mean, I went to Catholic school, so I had to go to church. But I'm saying voluntarily, I haven't been to church in 15, 16 years. I don't think I've.
Well, no one voluntarily goes to church. You only go so God saves your soul. I don't think
I've confessed my sins since I was like 14, 15.
You sinned a lot, my son.
I've sinned a lot. Definitely have.
You'll say 4 Hail Marys, 5 Our Fathers, and throw a couple draft parties.
Well, hopefully if the Celtics get a good pick, that's what I'll be doing. I won't be having a draft party for the NFL draft because, again, I'm boycotting it. But we've already been over that. Not watching it. I'm going to tune in the first 30 seconds. I'm going to watch Goodell get booed, and then I'm going to do something else.
I'm not going to do that. I don't care if he gets booed. He's going to get booed. I already know it.
I want to see him get booed. It makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside, and then I'll change the channel.
What is he, a fucking Teletubby?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
It's one stupid Teletubby.
Is he the purple one?
Huh?
Is he the purple one?
I don't know. I don't watch the Teletubbies like you do. So
that wasn't serious, Scotty. Anyways, on that note, we're out.
All right. Be sure to check us out at www.gamesofInches.com. Hopefully they'll be on the site really soon. Our admin's working on that. And go to youtube.com, type in Chris and Cash Podcasts for past episodes, and this will be up here very shortly. Have a good night.